building the next generation platform, in the building of our lithium refinery that we recently broke ground on, in the energy storage factories, in our sales and service footprint, and in our charging network, among other things. Before I hand it back to Martin, I would also like to thank Hiro Mizuno for his dedicated service to the Tesla shareholders and the board these past 3 years. I would also like to express our enthusiasm on behalf of my fellow directors at the prospect of JB Straubel joining our board. I don't have to tell you that his passion for Tesla and green tech will make him an important asset in our mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. So again, on behalf of our full board, thank you for your tremendous support and welcome to your 2023 shareholder meeting. And with that, I'll hand it back to Martin.
Thank you, Robin. I will now call the meeting to order. Please refer to the meeting agenda that has been provided to you and posted on the virtual meeting site. The time is now 3:10 p.m. Central Time, and I declare the polls are now open. We have already received over the last few weeks voting proxies from stockholders, meaning that almost all the votes that will be counted were already submitted before today. However, if you wish to vote your shares or change your prior vote, you may do so through the virtual meeting site. For those who are in person here today, ballots and ballot boxes were available to you at the check-in. Tesla's board of directors has appointed Computershare Trust Company to serve as Inspector of Elections. Computershare has taken and signed an oath as inspector and has certified that starting on April 6, 2023, the proxy materials or a notice of internet availability of proxy materials were mailed or provided to all Tesla stockholders of record March 20th, 2023. We have majority of outstanding shares represented at the meeting, so I declare that there's a quorum present at the meeting and we may proceed with the meeting. The items on the agenda are as follows. Number 1, the election of Class 1 directors Elon Musk, Robin Denholm, and JB Straubel to serve for a term of 3 years or until the respective successors are duly elected and qualified. Number 2, to approve executive compensation on a non-binding advisory basis. Number 3, to approve the frequency of future votes on executive compensation on a non-binding advisory basis. Number 4, to ratify the appointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as Tesla's independent public registered accounting firm for the 2023 fiscal year. Number 5, to vote on a stockholder proposal included in our proxy statement, which relates to the reporting of key person risk. Number 6, to vote on a stockholder proposal which the stockholders did not seek to have included in our proxy statement. Tesla's board has recommended that our stockholders vote for each of the director nominees, for the approval by non-binding advisory vote of executive compensation, and the ratification of appointment of PwC as an independent registered public accounting firm for fiscal year 2023. And every 3 years for non-binding advisory vote for the frequency of future votes on executive compensation. With respect to stockholder proposal included in our proxy statement, which relates to the reporting on the key man risk, Karen Roberts-Dotier, on behalf of Sumtris, is here to present this proposal. Ms. Roberts-Dotier, can you please identify yourself? I would like to invite you to speak. You will have 3 minutes.
I'll hold it for you. I got it. Hello. Thank you for having me here today. Under discussion is a shareholder proposal concerning key person risk at Tesla, requiring Tesla's board to draft a report covering the steps taken to ameliorate the potential impacts of loss of key persons in the company. However, before I begin, I would first like to say thank you to Mr. Musk. For so many of us, you stepped into fields where we had so desperately wanted to see change, and through bringing in a talented team, willing to put in the long hours, you dragged reluctant industries kicking and screaming into a better future, and for that, thank you. Building up this juggernaut around us, which, as you largely put it, runs itself these days. Thank you for that. And yet now here we are today, at a time when Tesla's technological leadership should be on display. The investment community largely sees us as adrift, with management focused on all the matters not Tesla, watching as Tesla's brand favorability dropped by 15 points last year, something that cost us margins. We have such a spectacular product pipeline and a team that knows how to execute at scale with low cost of goods sold, something that we are not being properly recognized for. It should go without saying, but apparently bears repeating, that if you cannot produce with low COGS, you have no future. When I look around the auto industry these days, I see a lot of companies that have no future. And that's a success on behalf of an incredible team here at Tesla that deserves recognition. But when people look at this company, that's not what they see. They see the company as a synonym for its CEO. And then the discussion turns to everything except for where it should be focused. It's my sincere hope that by introducing this proposal, we can not only accelerate the development of management at Tesla, but also increase its visibility. The fact that this company is so much more than its key persons is something that the public and the investment community should see. A founder often finds their greatest success in ensuring the future of the company and the development of the management talent who can come after them. Think Tim Cook at Apple, Steve Ballmer at Microsoft, and so forth. People who are ready from day one to execute without controversy, without distraction, and build a future for the company. I encourage the board should embrace this opportunity in the most public manner possible to showcase the future being built right here so that the discussion among the public and the investment community revolves around that and not around every public statement on every other topic made by the leadership. I strongly encourage the board, the shareholders to support this proposal and for the board to embrace it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Roberts-Loar. The board is recommended that our stockholders vote against this proposal for the reasons as set forth in our statement of opposition in our proxy statement. Finally, as you saw, and investor advocates for social justice would like to raise a proposal from the floor. The proponents did not seek to have their proposal included in the proxy statement. The board recommends that our stockholders who are entitled to vote on this proposal vote against it. As a reminder, as is disclosed in the proxy statement, I've been advised by the proxy holders that they intend to vote all shares of stock over which they have discretionary authority against this proposal. Only shareholders who are shareholders of record or have obtained a legal proxy may vote for this proposal after it is presented. Courtney Wicks, representing Investor Advocates for Social Justice, is here to present the proposal. Ms. Wicks, I would like you to speak. You will have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Tesla board members, management, employees, and shareholders. My name is Courtney Wicks, and I am the Executive Director for Investor Advocates for Social Justice. And I'm here on behalf of As You Sow and the Sisters of the Good Shepherd, who have filed shareholder proposals in the past on child labor and human rights abuses in Tesla's supply chain. I stand here today to call on shareholders to vote yes on requesting Tesla to conduct a third-party report detailing the company's efforts to eradicate child and forced labor in its supply chain. The human rights risks that permeate throughout Tesla's value chain, when not adequately addressed, harm shareholder value and undermine Tesla's ability to lead the just transition. Growing attention and concern have been placed on child labor in cobalt mining in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as well as on forced labor in China's Xinjiang region. 70% of the world's cobalt needed for EV batteries are sourced in the DRC. Over 40,000 children work in artisanal and small-scale mining, often without protective equipment and in dangerous spaces that frequently collapse. Many children are seriously injured or killed in the mining process. In Tesla's latest sustainability report, it claims to have audited 80% of the miners and refiners in their cobalt supply chain against responsible production standards. However, there are many industry-backed standards, some of which are weak, and it isn't clear what percentage of audits were conducted by which initiatives. It is also unclear how the company's due diligence ensures cobalt sourced from child labor is not intermingled in the industrial cobalt supply chain. Subsequently, an estimated 1.8 million people have been subject to state-imposed genocide, detention and internment camps, and forced labor in the Xinjiang Uyghur region. A recent study concluded that automakers cannot conduct meaningful audits in this region. The recent Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act in the United States sent an inquiry into Tesla's supply chain highlights the regulatory risk Tesla faces. We believe a third-party audit would provide greater transparency into how Tesla plans to eradicate child and forced labor from its supply chain. One of Tesla's competitive advantages is its sustainable leadership. Tesla, its board of directors and management team have a moral obligation to pursue ethical sourcing practices that do not rely on the lives of children or enslaved people. Tesla can continue to make a true leadership difference that forges a sustainable economic future that is anchored by innovation, empathy, human development, and shareholder value. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wicks. We will now accept votes for, against, or to abstain for this proposal, but again, only for record holders or legal proxy holders. Please note, this is the final opportunity to submit proxies in order for them to be counted. I declare the polls are now closed. Based on proxies we have previously received, I'd like to announce on preliminary basis that our stockholders have approved the recommendations of the Tesla board on all agenda items, except that shareholders have recommended 1 year for non-binding advisory vote on the frequency of future votes on executive compensation. This means that I would like to officially announce our new addition to the Tesla board, J.B. Straubel. After the final tabulation is completed, we will announce specific vote tallies in the filing Form 8K within 4 business days of this meeting. That concludes the official business of today's shareholder meeting, which is now adjourned. During the course of the following session, we may discuss our business outlook and make forward-looking statements. Such statements are predictions based on current expectations. Actual events could differ materially due to a number of risks and uncertainties, including those disclosed in our most recent Form 10-K and 10-Q filings with the SEC. Such forward-looking statements represent our views as of today, should not be relied on thereafter, and we disclaim from any obligation to update them after today. And with that, please welcome Elon Musk.